With hardly few days left for polling day for the Karnataka Assembly elections, I am joined by former Lokayukta Justice Santosh Hegde to speak more about candidates, the aspiration and expectation from the coming government, and the kind of seizures that have taken place and other details. So thanks for talking to us. The first of all, what's your expectation from the candidates who have been fielded by different parties, sir?
Frankly, I have become a cynical person. Therefore, I don't expect much at all from the candidates, except promises. Promises are galore. Every party is trying to beat the other party in making promises, without even knowing how they can ever fulfill those promises, because the financial implications of completing these promises are such huge. It could be more than the last year's budget on these promises alone, leave alone the other expenses like salaries and other required work and everything. In that background, I feel today's electioneering has no respect for truth. They just make statements which they think the voters are gullible enough to swallow it and vote on that basis. In that background, I feel I can't expect anything from them.
This is with regard to the candidates. With regard to government, sir, because in next 15 days or like months, we will have a new government. So what's your expectation from the government, sir?
Well, there are many things to be expected. Many promises made in the last elections to be fulfilled. In that background, and seeing the administration in the last 5 years in the state of Karnataka, I think nothing much can be expected at all. It will be another 5-year term which will be spent on promises and other things that have happened in the last 5 years. Beyond that, I don't expect anything at all.
Okay. And number of the people with criminal background also have got the ticket and they're contesting the elections. So what do you have to say and how do you see this, sir?
I think today...
And should sorry to interrupt, sir. And should there be an amendment to to make sure that such candidates do not contest elections if they have serious charges against them, sir?
When I was young, my parents used to tell me you should become a doctor, you should become an engineer, or get into IAS if it is possible. That was the aspirations of the parents at that point of time. So was the aspirations of the students also, to become an engineer, a doctor, an IAS officer. Today things have changed very much. Today everybody wants to become a politician. People who are engineers, people who are doctors, people who are in IAS, IPS services of the state and all, and people holding other posts also. They are ready and willing to resign from that post and want to contest election. What's the reason behind it? Obviously, politics today is the most remunerative profession, I would call it. It was a service once upon a time, but today it has become a profession. If you get elected, you are paid very affluently, you are paid, and the powers that you can exercise, which also fetches a lot of money if you have that type of a person and all. Therefore, there is aspiration from all that we all should become politicians. That's why even rowdies who were declared as rowdy sheeters are now coming forward and saying that we have changed people and all, where we want to contest election and become people's representative to help people. In that background, I have little hope on the future democratical system in this democracy in this country.
Taking further with that conversation, sir, in your own assembly constituency, you are the voter of Shivajinagar assembly segment. We have a candidate by name Chandra, who has been accused of planning to attack UV Singh, who was a part of Lokayukta, sir. What do you see, sir? What is the message that party is sending across, sir? Not only I think other parties also might be fielding such criminals. So what do you have to say, sir?
That itself shows the attitude of the political parties. They want only people with winning capacity to be, it could be a convicted criminal also, if possible, a person otherwise not wanted by the society are also candidates in the same. Because even political parties want such people, if they have a chance of winning, they would, irrespective of their past and what they are likely to be in the future, the political parties are prepared to choose them and can make them their representatives in the election because they want to come back to power. Now, why do you want to come back to power? Not for serving the people, but it has its own advantages for the people who are elected representatives in today's concept. That's why the situation seems to me that I may be a cynic, but then that cynic, they think attitude has come to me because of my 5 years experience in the Karnataka Lokayukta and what I've seen thereafter.
Okay.
And it is an admitted fact in today's thing. I'm not speaking from off my cuffs or something and all. The Congress party calls the BJP a 40% political party. 40% is taken as commission for doing official duty and all, taking bribe with the thing. And all. Now the BJP has come out with a new thing, which then the Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi said in 1985, where he publicly said in 1985, out of 1 rupee the government gave for development, only 15 paise reached the target. This is what the Congress Prime Minister said at that point of time. So today, I heard somebody say Congress is an 80% political party. And all. Both are correct. At that point of time, when Congress was in power, was taking 85%, and today BJP are taking 40%. What is the effect on it and the project that you are taking over? Let us take the present going rate and all, 40% for a civil work to be done. The contractor would keep 40% for himself. The project cost as estimated by experts is 100%. Now, out of which 80% goes like this. But then what the Prime Minister said then, that out of 1 rupee, only 15 paise reached. In 1985 itself, the ruling party was taking 85 paise then. I mean, these are the things, which really makes a person lose hopes in the system of administration that we are having. Therefore, unless we change the social thinking, I think the future is very, very dicey. With everybody wanting percentage in the expenses of the state and not, what will happen to development quality?
Communities, civic issues, these are the issues that should be discussed and debated. But whereas the tone of the campaign itself has changed, mudslinging, personal attacks.
Look,
what do you have to say on this?
Yeah, that is another best thing. The fall in the standard of the canvassing of the thing. It is nothing but attacking the opposition party or party in power. It's mutual shouting at each other and all. There is nothing positive in their thinking. And in the process, all respect for decent words are lost. But it's like poison snake is used and all, and something else, the nalaik is being brought into their conversation in the thing. And what sort of a thing is it? And these are the political leaders whom the citizens otherwise considered to be people to be followed. When we were young, we used to have photographs of national leaders who fought for the freedom of the country. And when we came home in the evening, my parents would tell me, go do namaskar to that photo. Today, frankly, tell me, whose photo do I put and ask my son and daughter to go and do namaskar? How many of them are in today power, but at the same time are on bail? What does it indicate? But I individually don't blame people individually. The fault lies with the society in which we are. When I was young, if somebody went to jail, my parents would say, don't go near that house. There was a social boycott of it. Today, people go to jail, they come out on bail, thousands of people go to the airport to receive them and garland them. And if you ask them, why are you going and receiving a person who is accused in a criminal case, he'll say, sir, is he the only one who went to jail? Did not Mahatma Gandhi go to jail? If this is the social attitude, because of which people follow that thinking of the society, I think we have to do something drastic to bring back that attitude of the society which boycotted people at that point of time. That will serve a lot of good to the society and change this desires for voting for people who have criminal background, people who are otherwise not wanted, and people are known for not doing anything in the previous term. All of them, voters will reject such people. But today it is not the thing. You want somebody to be elected because you expect something from that elected person. ಅವರಿಂದ ನಮಗೇನಾಗ್ಬೋದು. This is the yardstick for voting.
So you said the voters will reject. So in few days, as a campaign intensifies, people will come door to door. Candidates will come. So as we discussed earlier, Chanda was accused of planning to attack UV Singh. Our barbodu, Tanveer ant barbodu. Bare people who have been criminal records iroru ತಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ as a vote ಕೇಳಕ್ಕೆ ಬರ್ಬೋದು candidates. What will be your straight answers?
ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ, ನನಗೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗಿ ನೋಡ್ತೀನಿ ಯಾರು ಚುನಾವಣೆಗೆ ನಿಂತಿದ್ದಾರಂತ. ಅವರಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾರಾದರೂ ಅರ್ಹರು ನನ್ನ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಮತ ಹಾಕ್ತೀನಿ, ಇರ್ರೆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ದ ಪೊಲಿಟಿಕಲ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿ. ಯಾರು ಇಲ್ಲದೇ ಇದ್ದರೆ ನೋಟಾಗ ಹಾಕ್ತೀನಿ.
Okay. So NOTA andre, I want to ask you on this one. So if NOTA gets more votes, so should we consider that ali ಮತ್ತೆ election ಆಗಬೇಕು? Should we go for re-election there?
In my opinion, if NOTA gets the highest number of votes, there should be nobody from that constituency, because people have rejected everybody else. It is people's choice, isn't it? If people's choice is NOTA, it is an inanimate body. Therefore, there should be nobody representing that constituency. At the same time, it will send a message to the political parties that if we don't put candidates who are acceptable to the voters, then they will have no representation from that constituency. This is a factor which may change the future candidates being selected by the political parties.
Future of the country lies in the hands of youngsters. So lot of young voters, about 8 lakh young voters in Bengaluru itself have been added. What's your message for the young voters, sir?
Think of your future. Think of the future of this country. If you find somebody amongst the candidates contesting from your constituency who will serve the constituency and serve the people with legitimate things that could be done, I think, then vote for it. If you don't find anybody, don't vote merely on the basis of religion, caste, language, or such external factors. Only on merit which will improve the condition of the constituency, which will improve the conditions of the people in that constituency, alone should be the criteria. Otherwise, you have an alternate. NOTA. Vote for NOTA.
Well, that was the message directly coming from Santosh Hegde, to choose a candidate who will fill number of good criteria and choose him. In Bangalore, Yacoob for New Indian Press, along with video journalist Nagaraj Gadekal.